It's an interesting, I don't know if the right word's a metaphor, but it's just that framing of death and dying or burning of the bridges of this is who I used to be. That no longer serves me. I know when you and I first started talking here too, you asked me a few questions because naturally one of your core competencies and your core geniuses is in what you do for your purpose work right now is ultimately, what are you here to do? Who do you serve? What are the kind of people that you attract? And I didn't hesitate now where I might have in the past. I said, you know what? It's kind of changed. It's conscious creators and that's it. And you were like, yes, that's my people too.
So excited. Yes. Yes.
And then naturally we can wrap a container around like, well, what does that mean exactly? But I think even in sharing our stories, we express that. And the people that will resonate with it, it's that. That's how I explain it a lot of times is when I speak out loud my truth, even the uncomfortable stuff like this conversation even does not make me comfortable or feel good. But it's what I know I get to lean into because somebody else will hear this and go, oh my gosh, I get to do that as well. Maybe these people can help me with that. So what was it for you that, and I guess how long afterwards, after the loss, did you start to feel this sense of like a rebirth almost and a purpose starting to download to you?
Even through the fog of grief, I think my brain started trying to make some meaning out of it pretty fast because I knew that on some level that if I didn't have that, it wasn't going to be good, right? Like if I couldn't create some sense of purpose here, being who I am, I was headed for a life, lived in a locked room, numbing out. And I understand why people do that. Like very, very possible,
of course,
for me to have been like, I'm checking out.
Yeah,
right?
For a decade or a lifetime or whatever, right?
Yeah, 100%. And so what I became aware of first was that this was the defining moment in my life to that point.
Mm-hmm.
That this was my big T trauma, that I was, like I said, I was giving myself permission for it to be. And then I became aware of how much fear of what other people thought, of judgment, of criticism, of all of this had been holding me back up to that point. Because I was one of these kids with like these huge dreams of being on stages and impact and all of this stuff. And I was hanging out comfortable, running my little business behind the scenes.
And doing well and liking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like no major red flags of like, I hate this. It's like, you're doing okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I had replaced my income. I was traveling. I was working with people I really liked. And also, there was that little undercurrent of like, this isn't the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the thing, right? I had these experiences where like, I helped broadcast the Olympics 3 times. And so I had been in front, like literally on the ice with like Michelle Kwan and that era of Apollo Anton Ono, like assisting the camera op as they received their medals feet from them, like watching these people at the absolute top of their craft and their sport, right? And to witness that, I got to see the same thing with the Team USA basketball in 2012, which was like,
nice.
Next, you want to talk about energy?
Yeah.
Next level, LeBron and Kobe and all these guys, AD. So to have witnessed those types of things and then go like, okay, I know I have greatness in me, not in the sports arena, but in other ways. And what am I doing with it? Right? What am I doing with this one precious life? So I realized that because of the fear, I've been playing it safe. And that fear got stripped away when I lost Maeve, because now everybody knew I was the girl with the dead baby. Like I was the outlier now who didn't follow the traditional path. Like up to that point, yeah, everything looked normal, pretty normal, right? As you're supposed to do, maybe with the exception of quitting a steady job, right, to run a business. And then I was like, I have nothing to fear anymore. the worst thing that I can ever possibly imagine happening has happened.
Mm-hmm.
I would much rather have died and switched places with her if I'd been given the choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still here. So what the bleep am I going to do with my life? Right? And so it was kind of like all the stuff I'd stressed about, all this stuff I'd constricted around, all the ways I've been cheap with myself. I was like, screw it. Everything gets to be different now. I am about to figure out who I actually am meant to be here. Rediscover, I would say, because it was really clear when I was little, before the world, right? And flipping do it, both for her and so that I can have a purpose that will help propel me forward out of this darkness.
I love the fact that you've said flipping like 3 times on this interview so far. There's just so much politeness to you Southern ladies, you know?
Gosh.
But feel free to swear it out. If you got to let it out, there's no censor on this podcast.
Okay, good to know.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed that clip and you want to watch the full unedited episode, go ahead and click over here. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me. Thanks so much.